Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you the initial checkout of a Mickey Mouse lamp, and this is Keith's lamp from Virginia. And so on this lamp, he's got a note here that he would like to have the lamp repaired. And so we've gotten into this lamp and checked out and pulled the bottom off. And I want to show you what has happened here. These are really cool lamps. This is your main board for the incoming power. And basically I want to show you how badly this has been burnt up. It's taken quite a bit of voltage, and it was probably surged. And there was a lot more of the black soot in this area, but I kind of wiped that away, and you can see how badly that has been hit. And I've done a little bit of checking on this telephone, and my components here are shorted. And we're going to have to troubleshoot this telephone out because it made it way past the fuse and into the electronics. And so we're going to have to find out what we can do for this lamp. It depends on how far the voltage made it in. As you can see, it got hit pretty good and just made it right on through. So we're going to be doing some troubleshooting on this lamp. These are really cool sought-after lamps, and Mickey Mouse animated. They talk, and he kicks the light on, and so they're really cool. But we'll troubleshoot this and take a short break. Okay, we're back now, and so what we've done in the troubleshooting process is we've located some bad parts, and we've replaced a couple of the diodes. Here's one of them. And then we have another diode that's been replaced. And we were waiting on the SCR. So basically now we need to replace that. And this lamp, Mickey Mouse lamp, took us power surge. And in the earlier part of the video we showed where the electricity had hit it so hard that it actually melted the trace and disintegrated it, and there was a lot of black soot that had been built up. And then also, I don't know if you can see this in the video or not, but in this area of the plastic, it's all blackened in this area, and that just goes to show you what can happen if you've got a power surge. And it could have been a lot worse than that, or not as bad, and still take out a lot of the components. But it made it through the fuse and went into the circuitry of the main power board. So now what we have is we have a new SCR, and I'm going to go ahead and take it out. We can do away with the package now. And now what we want to do is we want to install our SCR. And we're going to take this in steps. We put the diodes in, had to wait on our SCR, and now I have a breaker across the fuse. But first we want to get this SCR in. And I don't want to wash the video out, but I have to put some light on this while I work on it. I'm going to clean my soldering gun. We want to come over here and solder this real quick, and then we're going to do a little test. I want to get a better bite on this trace here for this particular pin or leg. Now we can get our other legs in. Snip off the excess, as we certainly don't need that. Now we want to clean it up a little. I don't like to leave flux all over the board. It creates a situation. A lot of technicians won't do this. They don't take the time. But I don't like to leave flux left over from the solder on anything, because the flux won't hurt anything, but dirt attracts itself to the flux, and that can be a problem. So I don't leave it all dirty. I like to clean it up. Okay, so now basically what we're down to is we've went ahead and replaced some of the diodes, and now we've replaced the SCR, and I still have not replaced the fuse. But you just take these things in steps, and so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test the unit, and then we'll worry about the fuse, because that trace has to basically be repaired. So now I want to make sure that my unit is in the animation mode. We want to make sure that I have it switched off here. I have my breaker switched on, and I want to go ahead and plug the unit in, and I'm going to hold him up a little bit. And I'm going to switch it on.
What a bright idea!
Okay, now there's a button here that you push to get him to go off.
Like so.
Turn him on.
Now you can see what you're doing. So long, pal.
Okay, so we know he's working now. I want to turn him off, and I want to gently set him down. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to start on the fuse itself now. And so we're going to take a short break, and I'll work on that a bit and get a fuse back in it. But just because a circuit has a fuse in it doesn't mean a thing. I've seen many times where the fuse doesn't blow in time, because the voltage can sneak in there. Electric can do funny things. It can sneak in there right away so quick and hit it so quick that the fuse doesn't have time to respond. I've actually worked on some pieces of electronics where it has totally burnt everything up on the inside, and I look over and the fuse is in good shape because it burnt the trace on the back side of the fuse and it left the fuse intact. So, you know, voltage can do anything it wants, really. You might notice back here that my Tesla coil is not on. And the reason why I don't have that on in this part of the video is because Tesla coils, with their high voltage and high frequency, can affect test equipment, and it can affect sensitive electronics. And while we're working on this Mickey, I don't want to have to worry about any sensitivity issues to the electronics or to any of my test equipment while I'm working on this. So I don't have the Tesla coil on at this point. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and I've designed a fuse so that it can be soldered in. And that's not uncommon. I do that all the time. I make my own when you have to solder them in. And so if you think about it, though, if you don't have the experience, you probably don't want to try this, because your filament that's inside this fuse is actually soldered at each end cap. So if you put too much heat to them, you're going to cause the fuse to fail. And the component is designed for failure. So not only do you have to worry about, if you try this, you know, the fuse just failing on its own because it's designed to fail, but heating up the end caps too much to where they're not going to conduct. And so for a component that's already designed to fail, if you don't, you know or never tried this before, it's probably not a good idea that you do this. But we do it every day, so it's not a big factor here. Another thing that I want to do, since this unit had so much trace damage right in this area, I've already cleaned this area. Now I want to clean my other contact lead area, and I want to get this cleaned up so we can solder in our fuse. And I want to reach around here so I can get this fuse in. Get that into place. Don't want to wash the video out, but I have to put some light to it so I can see what's going on. I want to clean our soldering gun. Make sure that's got a good solder point here. I'll let that dry a little bit there. Pick up the end and get rid of that. We don't need that any longer. We'll clean up the board a little bit. kind of giving it a look to see if there's anything else we want to mess with and repair while we're in it. And that looks good. So now I want to take this board and put it back into position. Get one of these screws into position to get it started. Kind of searching for the standoff here. Sometimes it takes longer to put this electronics back together than it did to repair it, just because they can be pesky sometimes about going back together. Get a couple more in here. Do this last one. Kind of want to once over our wires here, kind of just get them into place. What I think I'm going to do here is, a lot of times, if you have a fuse floating around, I don't like to leave it loose on the board. I'm going to put a little hot glue, just kind of hold it. That'll stabilize it a little. Let that dry. Then we can start testing the unit and putting it back together again for Keith. And I spoke with Keith, and he said his daughter is very concerned with her Mickey. So we're going to get him squared away for her. So I'm going to check that, make sure that's dry. That should be good. I'm going to take a quick look at it. Okay, so now what we can do is it would probably be a good idea to test this one last time before we put the bottom plate on it. And so I'm going to make sure everything is in position. And we'll give it a test.
What a bright idea.
I'm going to turn it off.
Lights out.
Turn it back on one more time.
Now you can see what you're doing. So long, pal.
Okay. Now what we can do is go ahead and put our unit back together again. Make sure all of our standoffs are clear of any wires. And I do believe Keith requested that he needed some more feet, because I think he went into Mickey to look it over, and now his feet is missing. So what we're going to do is, once we get Mickey all back together again and tested, we're going to go ahead and put some feet on for him. So I'm not sure that that'll be in the video. But we will replace the feet. And get him squared away on that. Okay. Want to make sure everything, sound is on, our power is on. So he's ready to go. We'll do some final test here.
See you real soon.
Turn him on again.
Hiya, pal. Nice to see ya. Hey, who turned off the... Oh, I did.
Okay, we'll do that one more time.
What a bright idea. So long, pal.
Okay, so Mickey has been repaired, and I do believe Keith's little daughter will be very happy to get Mickey back, and now it can go home, and Mickey's all happy again, and he's repaired. You know, a lot of times what would happen is these lamps are very sought after, and I've talked to people who said, oh, I threw it away, I can't believe it, and it was worth a lot of money, and my kids really loved it, and I just didn't know anybody who could repair it. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959.
Now you can see what you're doing.
Thank you for watching, and have a great day.